भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर प्रभु पादा। जय बिल्व मंगल ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपादा। बिल्व मंगल ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपादा। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जय राधा कुंज जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुनातीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे। सत्य प्रभु सत्य प्रभु। जय निताई गौरांगो जय निताई गौरांगो। जय निताई गौरांग जय निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग जय निताई गौरांग।
ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज प्राचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, Appearance of Sri Narada. Text 19. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Prajanam viksha vaidikam. Prajanam viksha vaidikam. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Prajanam viksha vaidikam. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Prajanam viksha vaidikam. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Prajanam viksha vedikam. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Vyadad yajna santataihi. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Chaturotram karma shuddham. Prajanam viksha vaidikam. Vedam ekam chaturvidham. Word to word meaning. Chatuhu, 4. Otram, sacrificial fire. Karma shuddham, purification of work. Prajanam, of the people in general. Vikshya, after seeing. Vaidikam, according to Vedic rites. Vyadhat, made into. Yajna, sacrifice. Santatai, to expand. Vedam ekam, only one. Veda. Chaturvedam, Chaturvidham, in 4 divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhacharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He saw that the sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas were means by which the people's occupations could be purified. And to simplify the process, he divided the one Veda into 4 in order to expand them among men. Translation with interpretation. He saw that the sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas were means by which the people's occupations could be purified. And to simplify the process, he divided one Veda into 4 in order to expand them among men. Purport. Formerly, there was only the Veda of the name Yajur, and the 4 divisions of sacrifices were there specifically mentioned But to make them more easily performable, the Veda was divided into four divisions of sacrifice, just to purify the occupational service of the four orders. Above the four Vedas, namely Rik, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva, there are the Puranas, the Mahabharata, Samhitas, etc., which are known as the fifth Veda. Sri Vasudeva and his many disciples were all historical personalities, and they were very kind and sympathetic toward the fallen souls of this age of Kali. As such, the Puranas and Mahabharata were made from related historical facts which explain the teaching of the four Vedas. There is no point in doubting the authority of the Puranas and Mahabharata as parts and parcels of the Vedas. In the Chandogya Upanishad, the Puranas and Mahabharata, generally known as histories, are mentioned as the fifth Veda. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, that is the way of ascertaining the respective values of the revealed scriptures. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswate Devi Pauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyava Pachatya Deshatarani Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karote Vacharam Pangam Lakate Viramit Kapatama Shri Gurum Nitamana. It was in the 18th century the way the world was undergoing a lot of transformation socially, politically, scientifically. The age between 16th century or 15th century onwards up to 19th century, it is considered as on the age which underwent lot of changes, unbelievable changes, which science, even though science, modern science exists as a history of 2000 years, but the transformation, the changes which happened in these couple of centuries is never happened in the before. So the purpose or objective of these transformations or these inventions is to make things easy, make life easy. So in 18th century, there was a mathematician, a British mathematician. He faced a problem in solving complex mathematic calculations. Everything in those days, there are no any other ways and means. So only way he has to manually have to calculate. So then he thought, with lot of his inventions, lot of his experiments and inventions, he created a machine which automatically calculates the big calculations. So, but that machine was very gigantic in volume. And to operate that, it was possible only for an expert mathematician or a very scientist. He can only can operate that. Not everyone. So then, whatever after 100 years later, the whatever he has developed, basically it's on a calculator. After 100 years, so many other several minds, brilliant minds of that time involved, and they made that calculator into a way, not some mechanical some system. They made it where it can be electronic, little bit more easier. And during the World War II, these computers played an important role, and they were used to be like each computer used to be like one big room space, and several people are operating it or use whatever the technicians. So like that, most of the defense data, defense related things were controlled and operated through these computers. So later, but still, it was not easy to operate. Only some technically sound person, very trained, he can use it. Later, after few decades, there was the engineers developed graphical interfaces. All of you know from technical background, that's called Windows, icons. It's on programming language. So that made the things little easier, where more people can use, but still it was not accessible to everyone. So then suddenly the same computer, the previously required specialist, could be used by the school children, even everyone commonly. Why? Because they used this interface where people can easily through whatever the simple keyboard and mouse, where normal person can operate it. So why this example is relevant here? Today we are seeing such a big technical revolution. Any layman who is even uneducated is able to use all this technology and is getting the benefit of this technology. Because several centuries, several brilliant minds worked on it, how to make this technology easy, accessible to everyone. So here, it's not like by making the technology easy and accessible, the power of technology or the importance, the relevance of technology was reduced. Oh, its value was reduced, its power was reduced. No. The utility, everything was same, but it was made more easy and accessible to common people. So, same thing we can see in today's world, what Vasudeva has did. So there was one Veda, Yajurveda. So Vasudeva knows what is the abilities of people of Kali Yuga. Suppose if you would have experienced when you go for book distribution, if any new person you find, and if you give him a big, thick book, you tell, give some small book, I can purchase. By seeing that big book, you will get bewildered, shocked. अरे इतना पढ़ना है. If you give some small book, okay, if he is okay, cost also less, and he has some hope, he can finish it quickly. So, same way here, the Vasudeva knows what the Kali Yuga people have less duration of life, they have less memory, they have no interest in spiritual as subject matter. So if Veda remains one, they never be able to enter into Vedas, or even they won't make even attempt to read the Vedas. So that's why keeping in a Kali Yuga people in a consideration, Vasudeva made it more accessible. Vasudeva divided the Vedas, and he not only ended there. Okay, there was one book, let's divide that book into 4 parts. Okay, divide karke rakh diya. Nowadays, anyone, just like if you want to do anything, it's very easy. If you want to upload on PDF and divide it into 4 parts, give the instruction, page number 1, page number 10, 11 to 20, easily get divided. But it was not like so easy. His division of Vedas is very, very scientific. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, each Veda describes some different subject matters. If you say Sama Veda talks about all like compositions, music, more things. Rig Veda talks more about very deep philosophical points. So like that, systematically, he divided these Vedas into 4 to make it more accessible. So here, it is not just only he want to facilitate. The reason for he want to facilitate is he was very, very compassionate for the people of Kali Yuga. If you see in the current social structure, what happens? If anyone who coming from America, US, they see Indians as some very inferior, some other species. Even if you go, today in Western countries, is very dominating, white and black. Even after several decades, centuries, even that all, whatever the government rules, regulations, even equal for everyone, but still the blacks are treated very inhumanly, even in some places, even today. And saying, if any American comes to India, he will see everything as very, very insignificant. He won't value Indians so much. Because they are coming from the wealthiest country, they are having a good economy, they are having a good science and technologically, they are very advanced. So, when they see people who don't have much, they see it's very inferior, they won't value. Or even they have some interest, they want to do something, they want to help some people, but they will look for their personal benefit, what their country will get benefit out of it, or how they can take over. They can they will give loan. After giving loan, they will take over the country. They know by giving loan, we are not helping them, we are putting more burden on them, and we'll give so much loan, they'll never be able to pay, so finally we'll capture the resources of that country. See, even though it looks like they're helping, they have a lot of their personal interest. But here, when Vasudeva was dividing the Vedas, he was purely compassionate for the people of Kali Yuga. He was not having any personal interest. His interest was only how he can help the people. He saw that the sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas were means by which the people's occupations could be purified. And to simplify the process, he divided the Vedas, one Veda, into four. So, Vasudeva, see the visionary, the compassionate people, how their vision is so deep. He is not seeing only immediate generation benefit. If we do any one activity, we see, okay, what is the benefit we can give to this generation, or people who are near to us, close to us. But his vision is, even though he is 5,000 years before he was there, from that point is seeing what can, after 5,000 years, after lakhs of years, how people can take benefit of this knowledge. What I can do for them, what I can do for their benefit. See, this is the quality of a pure devotee. His compassion is unlimited. His compassion has no boundaries. It is not for a specific people of particular time or particular region. No. So pure devotee's mercy is beyond the boundaries. So because of that, he adjusted everything as for the benefit of the future generations. Not only that, then after that also he was thinking, still people may find difficult to understand these Vedas, Upanishads. So let me compile Puranas. The Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are Itihasas. So these Itihasas and these Puranas are meant for the less intelligent people. So then, this kind of approach we can see in entire parampara. What is the beauty of this parampara? Parampara is continuously carrying this message, not with a sense of scholarliness, with a sense of compassion. That's where Acharya's roles make a difference, bring a difference in presenting the Vedic literature. If you see how Shukdev Goswami presented the Bhagavatam, it says, Bhagavatam mentions, he made it more nectarious. Shukamukad. See, it says, whatever is coming from Shukamukha, it was become more nectarious. How? Because same philosophy, same things, very complex matter, he explained through examples of great devotees. Nowadays, podcasts are very trending. We thought, podcast is something very new. We started 5,000 years before it happened. Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami had a wonderful podcast. Parikshit Maharaj was asking questions and Shukdev Goswami was continuously giving answers. Nowadays, any podcast maximum will go for 1 hour or something interesting will go for 1.5 hours. But this podcast was so interesting, it went for 7 days. And what happens in this podcast? The listener will never change. He will remain as it is. Even though we have seen the people who interview spiritualists, they will listen from all the philosophy, from all different philosophers. They will call some Mayavadis also. They will call some Brahmakumaris also. They will call from some art of living also. But after listening from everyone, the podcaster who is interviewing, he remains as it is. He has his own life. After listening, it's not like he is getting transformed, he is getting changed. He remains as it is. But that podcast was not like that. When Shukdev Goswami spoke, Parikshit Maharaj was so, of course, he was already a great devotee, but in spite of all that, he became so strong and he was able to face the death. And after that, the Suta Goswami, he went and presented to Shonakadi Rishis, and there are some 88,000 saints were sitting in Naimisharanya. They were hearing. They got transformed. So the difference is when coming in a parampara, when acharyas are presenting, when they present in such a way where the people can really transform. That's how the Shukdev Goswami presented. And it continues through entire parampara. And when it comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it even easy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this Vedic, whatever in the injunctions, a lot of rituals. So let it make it simple. Even the most simplest person can take the benefit of the highest thing what one can extract from Vedas. That's how he propagated the Sankirtana. See, the entire Vedic literature, the Vedanta, is meant for what? Finally, to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So some same philosophy, the essence of the Vedanta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it available, easily accessible to even to the person who is illiterate. And later, 6 Goswamis came. What 6 Goswamis did? 6 Goswamis, of course, even though they wrote books in the Sanskrit, because in those days, the scholarly language, scholars used to appreciate, because Goswamis want to preach to even to the scholars and as well as for the even ordinary people. To appeal to the scholars, they wrote many books in the Sanskrit, and also they established practical systems of worship where even a common person can easily get connected. Before Madhavendra Puri, there was no kind of a Radha Krishna worship. Madhavendra Puri is the one who introduces Radha Krishna worship, proper deity Radha Krishna deity worship. Then to make how to people can socially can get connect and to practice bhakti, for that temples are required. That's why Goswamis established the temples. So they know what is the mindset of people, what is the people of Kali Yuga. They won't get listen, they won't give value until unless something big comes out. That's how in 500 years before, they built such a huge temple like Radha Govinda Mandir, Radha Madan Mohan temple, because that iconic temples, structures will attract the audience, common masses of people. So they established the temples, they renovated the holy places which were lost, discovered and established those temples. So practically what was a knowledge was locked in the books. They made it like that, where every person can easily experience it. Before that, anyone want to experience, they have to go to forest, or they have to just deeply study the Shastras. They can only experience it. But Goswamis, by establishing a temples, by establishing the such worship methods, they made it even a common person can experience that the high level of bhakti. So then, further comes Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. He extensively he did spread that this literature. He used printing press, and he removed the one of the important barricade of like caste system, which was limiting people to every common person to get access to this Vedic knowledge. He gave initiation to even for the non-Brahmanas or even for Shudras. So then comes Srila Prabhupada. See how this systematically same what Vasudeva did, the attempt of making Vedic literature easily accessible to everyone. That attempt, how it is coming in a parampara, and even up to Prabhupada. The Prabhupada translated, used the literature, it was in Sanskrit, and he made it available to entire world, not only to India. Till that time, this original message was limited to India, even though others, some scholars used to give all misinterpreted the knowledge, but Prabhupada took it to the entire world. So here another one myth some people generally propagate, some debates also they say the Vedic knowledge is only for some elite class. That's why they wrote all this in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is for elite class. These Brahmanas, they don't want to give knowledge to anyone and everyone. That's why they put all these books in a very complex language, Sanskrit, so where normal people should not have access. So these Brahmanas can maintain their superiority and control the society. Actually, if that was the intention, why Acharyas has to do all this endeavor? So there was never such intention in Acharyas or the real Brahmanas. The Brahmana don't want to control everything. Brahmana's nature is liberal. So in that way, it is not a right understanding. So Vedic knowledge was meant for only for elite class. No. Knowledge of Vedas is meant for everyone. That's how, from the very beginning, all these attempts made by Acharyas to make that, keeping in mind how a common person also can get benefit of the Vedic literature. So how we can take benefit? So that's why the Mahabharata was composed, Puranas were composed, then again Bhagavatam was taught through the stories, and the sages like Narada Muni traveled everywhere. If you say, anyone say Brahmanas were controlling, they don't want to give knowledge to others. See, why Narada Muni gave knowledge to Murgari? Why Narada Muni gave knowledge to Valmiki? See how without a proper understanding how things are misinterpreted for the sake of just presenting their own propaganda. So how they will misinterpret the Vedas and the activities of the Acharyas. So the entire Vedic history of Vedic culture shows an effort to expand the access, not restrict the access. The purpose of qualification was preservation of knowledge, not monopoly over knowledge. The acharyas were know the temporary nature of this world. They were not in how this knowledge, this world is temporary. So, if in that kind of an philosophical mindset, how we can restrict, how we can lord over on knowledge, and they never taken a patent. Oh, it's only for us. Only so and so people can use it. No. So even today, there's no any patent for such Vedic literature, because they were selflessly, they want to serve the humanity. So for that, what all the pain they have taken, we can see in Srila Prabhupada personal life itself. Srila Prabhupada stayed in Radha Damodar Mandir for a period of 6 years. When Srila Prabhupada started staying in that place, that was already 400 years old. It was not like very nice, well painted and all well furnished room Prabhupada got. No. It's mentioned, Srila Prabhupada mentions, I was staying in a 2 rooms upstairs. Then one of the Goswamis asked me if I would like to stay in the 2 rooms below, where one Babaji who was taking care of the tombs stayed. Actually, it's a servant quarters. For Radha Damodar temple, Goswamis who were coming in, taking care of the temple, before Srila Prabhupada used to stay in that place, who used to stay in that place? Some servant who used to take care of the tombs used to stay in those 2 rooms. That when Gaurachandra Goswami proposed, then he gave Prabhupada, you please stay in this servant quarters. So first Prabhupada stayed in some 2 rooms which are on the first floor, and after that he asks him, please move to the ground floor where this Babaji who is take care of tombs used to stay. I was staying in 2 rooms upstairs, then one of the Goswamis asked me if would like to stay in the 2 rooms below, there where one Babaji was taking care of the tomb stayed. The rooms were dilapidated, so he proposed that I fix the rooms and whatever I pay as a rent would be all right. So rent was not fixed. He told, you get it all repaired and you stay. To get room repair for Prabhupada took 3 years. Prabhupada, somewhere he was getting little money. Prabhupada collected that money. Prabhupada gave first priority to print the first canto, second canto, Bhagavatam and Back to God magazines, not to spend money on his room. Prabhupada is personally saying it took 3 years to save 1,000 rupees needed to repair the downstairs rooms. What we used to say, we do. First we will make our stay comfort, our all necessities are taken care, then other things. What Prabhupada doing here? 3 years, 1959 to 1962, Prabhupada first focused on printing, publishing, Back to God magazines and other things, and then Prabhupada collected somehow difficulty 1,000 rupees to get the room renovated. Whatever money he managed to collect was immediately utilized for printing the message of Krishna consciousness. Comfortable surroundings and palatable means did not concern him. Prabhupada thought of others, not himself. And by his selfless compassion, he garnered the grace of the Goswamis. So then, one devotee recalls, I would visit Srila Prabhupada many times while he was staying at Radha Damodar temple. Between 1962-64, one time I went there and he was sitting on the floor on a torn quilt. Not a mattress, no cot, it was a torn quilt. After sitting down on my chadar, we both discussed the Srimad Bhagavatam. There was no bed in Prabhupada's room. He was sleeping on floor. See, it was in between 1960 to 64. Prabhupada started staying in 1959 onwards. Until 1964, as per this devotee, Prabhupada was not having a bed in the room. Prabhupada was sleeping on floor. And he was having only one torn quilt. See how the difference between a liberated soul and ordinary souls like us. They are purpose oriented. We are conditioned. For us, purpose never strikes us. That never hits our heart. For us, our comfort is everything. If comforts go away, we won't bother about purpose. This is the difference. On another occasion, the same devotee recalls, often we would have Kirtan in his room at Radha Damodar. Prabhupada played Mridanga, I played Kartals. He used to tell me how he was planning to go to America and Western countries. See, he is sitting in a room on a torn quilt, he is talking about going to America. He said, I want to preach as Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has ordered me, and I want to publish BTG in huge scale and preach in Western countries. If there will be need, I will establish boarding facilities for interested people. See, this is the concept of Prabhupada, which Prabhupada taught in 1960s. If they want, I will give you meat also, and eggs also, and wine also. I believe that after hearing Harinam Sankirtan and the Siksha of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then certainly they will reject all these things. And surely they will become pure Vaishnavas. See, the faith in holy name, the faith in teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, go. If they want, I will give all the things. And I will give Harinam also. So I am confident they will leave all the meat, eggs or whatever, all the things, and they will become pure Vaishnavas. See how much faith Prabhupada is having in the process. It's not like that, it's not mean we have to give all these things. It means is the faith in the process. How much faith we should have and how much faith Prabhupada was having, it shows here. If we have a faith, we won't look for happiness anywhere else. We will find happiness in the process, in the austerities, in the system given here. If you don't have a faith, then our mind seeks pleasure in 100 things. So that's why it's important to see how much acharyas have struggled to make this knowledge easily accessible to all of us. It's not printing Bhagavatam, it's not like, okay, just print another one book. It's not like that. Behind this book, there's the history, the pain, struggle of thousands of the devotees. That's why when we read, when we take up this book, why we won't take casually? Why not we read like another one novel? Why we offer prayers? I am offering prayers to not all those acharyas who made me this knowledge accessible. With that gratitude, with that regards, we should read this, absorb this knowledge. So, this entire the series of verses shows the magnanimous nature of the acharyas, especially Vasudeva. And this all is happening to a kind of a scene is setting to present one hero. Who is that hero? We'll come to know in the next upcoming verses. Okay? By this I will end. If anyone has any questions, comments, we can discuss. No questions? Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki